video here today about these things. These are flesh colored crayons. So these right here are flesh colored crayons, and I remember flesh colored crayons when I was a kid, okay, but apparently they've been discontinued since 1962. So when I was a kid, we'd say like add 20 years to that. So I would have been playing with crayons, you know, around early 80s, 82. I'm pretty sure that the crayons I was playing with were not 20 years old. Okay, so yeah, like I remember as a kid in the 80s thinking, wow, flesh colored crayons, that's kind of racist. Because here's the multicultural crayons, and right, they go everything from black to brown to, you know, red to Asian people to white. Like, flesh is a whole bunch of different colors. And I remember thinking that as a kid, like, why is this flesh like? And so what I'm hearing now is that flesh colored crayons were discontinued a long time ago. Alright, so yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I was absolutely positive, because the pictures that I've seen look like kind of like new crayons, but they officially changed flesh to peach in 1962. And that's from, like, you know, some crayon collector page. So I'm pretty sure they know what they're talking about. So yeah, and right on the Wikipedia page it says that too. Flesh was discontinued in 1962. But I remember flesh. Alright, so there seems to always be like the straight dope message boards. They were onto these Mandela effects before they were ever called Mandela effects. I'm sure I remember flesh being around when I was older. This person was born in 65 and remembers flesh being a color. And this person says, we've got to be suffering from false memories, or we colored in previous lives. Because this person flat out does not believe that they replaced flesh in 62. Or we must have bought older boxes that have been sitting around in a warehouse for a few years. But for fuck's sakes, like, I was a kid in the early 80s. I doubt they had boxes of crayons sitting around for 20 years. No way. No way. This person says, I do have a very clear memory of seeing the word flesh on a crayon. So do I. Absolutely remember flesh crayons. And like I said, I even remember thinking back then, well, that's a weird name because we all have different colored skin. Why would everyone here is saying 62 seems way too early on the straight dope message board? And I agree. No, wait. That didn't stop in 1962. I clearly remember flesh colored crayons. Okay, I remember peach crayons too, and that's what they changed the color. I think they just like relabeled the flesh color peach, but I remember both of them. No, this is weird. This person called Crazy Cat Lady says they were born in 76. That was she's 2 years younger than me, and she does not remember fucking playing with flesh colored crayons. She remembers peach, and that's it. Interesting. This person born in 71 says they remember flesh for quite distinctly for a couple of years beyond kindergarten. This person, 71, distinctly remembers flesh. How is this possible? I remember flesh clearly. Absolutely. 100% I am positive that I remember flesh colored crayons. And this guy remembers crayons too, flesh colored crayons, and he says he was puzzled because it didn't look like, he was probably like a super white kid, and you know, it's kind of like a peachy color and it didn't look like his color of flesh. Exactly. Do you think Crayola had a 15-year-old backstash of fresh crayons? It seems a tad unlikely. Exactly. It would have been 20 years old by the time they got to me, so no way they had 20-year-old crayons just sitting around. So here's the Reddit Mandela effect page, and this person remembers it in the 90s, and they're even younger than I am, and they clearly remember it too. People, yeah, this another person, 96 to 98. Holy. This person says that they think Crayola is lying, and that they actually are retroactively trying to cover their tracks. Now, see, that contradicts what I saw on that. Why wouldn't the people on that Crayola collecting page know about that? They should have flesh colored crayons from the 90s. I don't believe that. I think that's wrong. That's a good conspiracy theory that Crayola is just trying to say, oh yeah, we changed it back in 62 because we're a hip forward thinking company, but I don't believe that, because somebody would have some of the newer ones. This person says it's pretty obvious that they were just telling people lies so they wouldn't think they were still racist in the 90s. Literally every page I find says that same number, 1962. That's when they changed flesh to peach. Yeah, so now that I'm looking at it again, at first I thought these were new crayons that had flesh on it, but now I realize that they're all different colored, so they're the, you know, the multicultural flesh color. But the old original flesh colored ones all look like old Crayolas. Old. Like, I don't believe this bullshit that they were still making them in the 90s and they're just trying to retroactively change history. No, I think they did ban that shit in fucking 1962, and somehow we people who are much younger than the people who should have been playing with flesh colored crayons somehow, because I remember flesh colored crayons, but apparently they've been discontinued since before I was born. You know, 12 years before I was born they were discontinued. And you know, you don't play with crayons till you're a little bit older. So I'm saying, like, how is it possible that I'm playing with something that was discontinued in 1962 and I'm playing with it in 1982? That sounds bizarre. Anyway, thanks for watching, and subscribe for more Mandela effect videos.